Let's talk about what happened today. Another, essentially another horrendous day in trading, the stock market, but in general in Amazon. Of course, Amazon has been showing tremendous strengths. Um, the key technical line, the line of demarcation, is this 3550 line. And of course, on Monday, try to push through it and fail of this line led to low of day trading, which I said I had a potential opportunity loss of about 2,500 on just not staying in. Yesterday, of course, I lost 4,000 on trying to take this opposite position. Essentially, at this position was where the QQQ was at the VWAP. And even though the QQQ was weak yesterday, Amazon continued to power up above this key technical line and trapped me inside the trade for a loss of 4,000. Of course, at the close, I had no choice but to buy a protection call to essentially mitigate my risk, even though I knew today would be reversal Wednesday. Bad choice because the pre-market, the futures are all 100% manipulated. So at the pre-market, what it did, it opened essentially where I thought it would close or touch yesterday, which is the 5-minute trend line, which is meeting up with the VWAP and went below it. So I bought, of course, I buy to open this 350 uh, uh 3550 call option, which is a pretty good buy, even though I did not get the low at the time, which was I think 35. I got it at 40, but what happened was I got scared. Why did I get scared? It was reversal Wednesday, so I was afraid of the flush and afraid of the market just going out. B, I had bought this call option, the same call option at the close yesterday at 55. So I have a position at 55 and a position at 40. So that's two call option that had it gone the opposite direction. I would have lost if I held it. I would essentially lose close to 10,000. So I had to set an order to sell. I sold one at 47 and the other at 50, which essentially was flat. So this was a scared trade. It was a scared trade because I was afraid of the reversal. But what I failed to notice, or what I failed to really assess, was you can't be afraid. You got to look at the data, and the volume was tremendously high on the options. The volume on the stock was also high at the time, and of course, the activities on, let's just go ahead and punch in 100 here and go through these options. The activities on these guys was extremely high across the board. You can see the options volume was extremely high across the board, and what this did was push it all the way up. And so my execution of my call option that I sold way too early. Essentially, that I could have sold at the top or anywhere up here at 70. Look at it holding up here at 70. So we're talking about 40 and 55. So we're talking about each one of that being 3,000 and 2,000 and a half. So that's an opportunity loss of what, like 5,000. I put down 2,000 because that's just the general way I do as far as opportunity loss. But really, just bad trading. And because I closed out on these positions way too early, guess what? The position that I was trapped in yesterday, which was, what did I sell yesterday? It was the 3,500 right here. No, this guy right up here. I was down 5,000 and continued to be down all the way at this point. So I'm looking at my account being down 5,000, um, and getting out on those call option at the 3,500 at flat even, right? So here it is. These guys right here, these two call option that I bought at 40 and 56, and I sold out. Essentially, they were flat even, which had I held on to them would mitigate the loss of the 5,000. At the time, it was 5,000 on this call option that I sold. Well, eventually, what happened was it starts to go the opposite direction. Why did it go the opposite direction? Because this is Reversal Wednesday, and the market is the big elephant that would dictate whatever happened to Amazon. Eventually, all these buyers, all these manipulators, all these whatever they are, all these option volumes had no meaning whatsoever when it came to the afternoon. And what do we do in the afternoon? Let's just punch in the QQQ here, to show you exactly on the 5 minute what happened in the afternoon exactly at 1 o'clock, right? Exactly at 1 o'clock, it completely tried to touch VWAP. Completely 1 o'clock, I said in the afternoon they would hijacked it. And guess what? Right here, I think this is when I had to buy a protection put. So I sell to open a protection put at the 5 minute, because I had to, not because I had to, because of my risk allocation management. The strengths of all these option volumes that I was watching on Friday, on Monday, on Tuesday, there was just so much strength. Even though it hit 3,600, there was just the fear of it going back up, and I was still stuck in this guy. Of course, I was still stuck in this guy at the time. It was at 90 or whatever it is. I sold it at 50, right here. So I'm down 4,000. I had to sell that protection put. Well, guess what? That protection put, I think this guy right here that I sold at the VWAP at 50, I'm down now 7,000. Right there, 7,000 because of this 5 minute trap. I always said the 5 minute is a trap. But what I was thinking at the time was that they was so far away from the 15 minutes, right? I mean, if we look at the 5 minute trap, which is right here, um, which is at 1:12:35, I guess, was what it was the 5 minute trap at the time, 12:35. Um, right here, it was so far away from this 15 minutes. I just didn't think it was going to touch it, especially when it didn't go close to the 15 minutes. You can see how it did not get close to the 15 minute. So it was logical to think that this 5 minute was a this 5 minute was a trap. Now, instantly I knew it was a trap, so I tried to get out. I could have gotten out at this point. I think I had an order to close even. Of course, it didn't trigger because it's not going to give it back to you. That's what one of my worst habits, not taking a small loss. I could have taken a loss of 100. But luckily, I did think smart enough to sell this put option, and I sold it right at 11:33 because of just the risk allocation. I knew the risk allocation. What, when did I sell that? Did I really sell that at 11:33? Sell the no, it had to be a call option that I sold. Sell to open sell right here at 11:33 was when I sold that call option. Um, no, 133 is when I sold it. So where is 133? Oh, right here. So yeah, I did not. Had I gotten out, okay. So had I gotten out of that put option with a small loss at 100, this is the 133. So when it went back and touched this key technical line at 35.50, this is when I sold a call option. The same call option that I was trapped in, that I was losing 5,000. I sold it here for 62, which is a good order that I committed. Although the problem was I covered it way too soon at the 29. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. I think it was this guy right here. No, it has to be this. What is it? This guy right here. The low of the day is 16. I mean, I covered up here thinking I was way smart to cover at this point. Well, what I keep telling you is that there's just waves and waves of selling, right? If you look at this, the end results, this is just classic. The way it works is that it will end close to low of day. And so here is the key technical line, or the target, right? This is level, uh, this is call it level one. And so once it reached level one, at a certain point, this 5 minutes is a trap. So this essentially is a three waves selling. It's always typically a three wave selling. This is wave one, this is wave two, and this is wave three. So that's one, two, three, and always like that, and it either ends a low of day down here, or it'll be a slight bounce. So this is where I lost 7,000, 7K I lost because of this trap. Every time it's happened so often that this 5 minute become a trap, because essentially what it is um, the algorithms on this upswing right here, all these upswings, you see all these upswings, I mean, this is just so much strength, right? All of these are just brain seed, BS, brain seed. Nah, it's just making you, it's just tricking your head into thinking that Amazon is going to continue to go up. Well, it is not. That's what a brain seed is. That is why it's called Reversal Wednesday. And that is why the 5 minute right here is a trap. I keep falling for it. And even though I kneel for it, I had to do it because of that risk management strategy. That's the same reason why I bought a protection call here, and got myself stuck in a position that was down 1,500 in the morning. Bought another call option and had to get out flat even when essentially, had I held on to it, That was a $4,000 to $5,000 up here if I held on to those call option. So many missed execution, not getting out on that small loss. I think right here, the small loss of only 100, right? Why am I worried about 100? Well, I mean, I'm just a cheapskate is essentially what I am, right? Even if you lose $50, it seems a lot when you're a cheapskate. But, you're not thinking about the opportunity loss, right? Here, you lose 4,000 because 5,000 because you got scared and you're afraid of losing money if it went down this way. Yes, of course, if it had crashed in the morning, which it definitely could have happened, but the risk was really low based on the option volume. These option volume that was showing up here, these option volume that was coming in, really meant that they were going to flush or trick you into thinking it was going to, and it didn't hit the level, right? It has to hit the level. I mean, this is not a level. A level would be 3,600 would be a level, and typically it would overshoot that level, which it did, held above that level before eventually crashing. Amazon was bucking the trend compared to the QQQ. It was so strong compared to the Nasdaq that I was just convinced. I was brain seeded into convincing that Amazon, based on these strengths, they tricked me again that Amazon was going to bounce. And of course, it's a trap. Lost 7,000. So, I mean, but the opportunity loss is really 4,000. Had I gotten out of this one, I wouldn't have lost this 7,000. And then I would have been able to and even this guy I sold way too early, right? Bought it at 40, sold it at 42. Could have sold it probably at 50, right? Let's see, 34.50 at the end, 34.50 right here. Yeah, at the end it bounced all the way up to 52. So look at that. I mean, just scared, right? Just scared. I got in at 40. Yes, I did see it hit 39, so I was down, about $150 or whatever I was down. And I said, well, you know what, let me just take $200. Yeah, that's really, I just lost out. The high of 52, I mean, probably won't get 52, but let's just say I got 51. That's right there is $9,000 in opportunity loss. $9,000 that really, if I ignore this guy, I only made, well, these are just way so small, right? 900, this is not even 900, this is 350, this is like $600, So in one single trade, I would have made more in, this is what, 5 minutes, not even 5 minutes, maybe more than 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. I would have made more than what I made the whole entire day of trading, which, I had 700, which seems a lot, but when it's come to option trading, the opportunity gain, and the opportunity loss is so much more if you really pinpoint in on the signals and if you just are not afraid. And so hopefully I can resolve this issue that I'm having, um, and able to hold on to. So I'm trying to habituate myself into seeing the lost, seeing the gain in bigger amount and holding on to them for a larger duration, like this right here. 3,300 seem a lot, right? Covered it at 29, but essentially I lost out in another 1,000 because this went down to 16. So, I mean, that's another one. That's a really opportunity loss today is over 5,000, probably 10,000 in opportunity lost if I just executed 10,000 in opportunity loss if I executed just right. I'm trying to, yes, I would probably, got trapped in this one, but I could have gotten out with only a $100 loss. And then, of course, I got perfectly in this trade going down. And so I would have had, and continue to hold on to it. That's the $4,000. This is, $4 or $5,000 plus the trap that was at 5,000 loss. Now it's up 3,000 or whatever it is. So yeah, over $10,000 in opportunity loss if I had executed correctly. Overall, I guess, right now, the account is sitting okay in regards to being at my all-time high. I'm 2,000 from my all-time high. But I don't like carrying the 7,000 lost, and hopefully, this will bounce tomorrow. So what will happen tomorrow is gonna be key. Whether, Amazon looks like it's dead in the water based on what we're seeing, but the volume is really so low. It's only 4,000, yet they're able to engineer a sell-off. I mean, this sell-off was so weak in volume, really. So I don't really understand how they're able to get the sell-off with such weak volume. And my only thinking is that they got this VIX to run up, and my other thinking is these option volumes are 100% algorithms and computer control. The price action of Amazon is 100% computer control. It does not make any sense. Why the price action behaves the way it does? Why are people buying so much option volume, knowing it's Reversal Wednesday? And same thing. Why did they? It's the same thing on why I lost was it on Friday? On this guy, I think. Where is it? This is Monday. This is Friday. Right here, I believe. Right here on this run up, I lost $3,000. This is on Thursday, and then on Friday. Why? No, that's not correct. Where is that correction? Right here, right here. This Thursday run up, or this Wednesday run up made me lose 3,000. Didn't make any sense why the option volume is so high. And on Thursday as well, why did it run up prior to earnings report, and it just completely collapsed. Well, it's 100% algorithm based, 100% computer derived volumes and price action. Nobody, sitting at their desk is going to buy options in that amount, knowing that the earnings report can be negative and completely wipe out your entirely everything. So I don't even know if these volumes on these options that were bought up meant anything overall, because the risk allocation on how they derived it is completely different than the retail investor, like you and me. And of course Monday, well, this is Friday. Monday, Bezos started selling, and then eventually it hit this 38.2 Fibonacci. His selling is over or almost over, and then they just ran it right back up. This run up was magnificent. It made no sense given the earnings report was so negative. It made no sense, and it just kept going. And then this reversal now made no sense other than the fact that it's Reversal Wednesday. So knowing that price action has nothing to do with sense and logic, if you look at this volume that all of a sudden the put volume coming in, these puts volume came in after the price movement. So the price movement pushed the price movement of Amazon, of course. The price movement of Amazon going down push these options volume on the put side. So none of this is organic. No one, because if it was organic, they would have bought it here. So the retail investors, yes, these were bought by the retail investors. These were not. These are all 100% computers generated purchasing, 100%. So does that mean that it can reverse? Yes, it does mean that Amazon can reverse. My hope is the only way I can come out of this unscathed is if it's closed by Friday at 3,500. So that is my only way of getting out of my current loss position, which is I'm currently down 4,000 overall. Um, I will be down completely zero if Amazon close anywhere above 3,500 and 3,550. So 3,500 and 3,550, which is where this target is, anywhere above here on Friday would allow me to close completely negative or completely zero, a zero balance, and therefore I can get the complete gain for the week. So this week would be not including tomorrow and Friday would be 5,400. Right now, I'm holding a loss of 4,000. If Amazon close anywhere above 35 or between 3,500 and 3,550, I will realize these gain for the week, and I am going to hope for that. Is it the right strategy? It's probably not the right strategy. It looks like Amazon has a target for this 60-minute trend line. So the target will probably be 34.50 for the close on Friday. So that would give me a loss for the week. So I definitely do not want that. But then again, anything can happen. So I don't know what to do at this point. Let's just take a look where 3450 is. It's right here. This is perfectly fine. In the QQQ. Let's take a look at the QQQ. Now it is bouncing off of the 60. So my only hope is this QQQ to bounce off the 60 on Thursday and then a collapse on Friday. Probably going to collapse on Friday. So I am hoping to probably get out of this strangle tomorrow. Probably gonna take anywhere from 2,000 and a half. If I'm lucky, anywhere from 2,000 and a half to $3,000 loss. I'm just gonna have to bite that bullet because I am afraid of Friday sell off on Friday option expiration toward this 3450 target that I'm thinking is right here. This is where I am expecting the closure for the week or the end of Friday. So I don't see any way around of this position that I'm stuck in. I am stuck in obviously this right here. Where is it? 3,600. Yeah, this guy that I execute, I am definitely stuck on it. But you know what? Anything can happen. I guess, that's what I'm saying. Whatever analysis I have, even though it makes logical sense to have this target, there is no rhyme and reason to why Amazon does the way it does. And if the volume comes up again on Thursday, obviously it's gonna push higher, but I don't think so. I think Thursday will be consolidation around here, and then Friday will either hit 35.50, 34.50. 34.50 looks like a more viable target, given the nature of the way today. I mean, there wasn't even a lot of a lot of selling off, right? And so you can see that Tesla essentially, I don't know. if these Tesla buyers went into, or the algorithm for the Tesla went into Amazon, and then they went out of Amazon and back into Tesla. But Tesla is now, you can see, is uh, also 100% manipulated, right? Yesterday, just opened up slightly, a slight push, and then just completely collapsed for no reason other than the fact that the algorithms know that Friday, this is Monday, Friday held flat line at this 38.2, gap down, held a position, then collapsed. Now it's right back at the 60-minute trend line. It's gonna fight the 60-minute trend line. I would anticipate it to fail. I mean, it's just, but who knows, right? When you're at a key technical line, it can break out or it can fail statistically. If you look at this, obviously statistically there's a higher probability of going down once it plays around with the 60. Same thing with the QQQ. Statistically it will try to hold up here and then eventually just fail and collapse below the 60, already below the 15, which would mean the whole Amazon, of course, will touch the 60. So the bias is definitely on the negative side. Uh, but we'll see what happens tomorrow. Um, on Thursday, see if there's any indication of a stability, if it's or a bounce, indication of a bounce. I don't predict it. Hopefully it's not a sell-off on Thursday. If tomorrow is a sell-off, I am SOL. I am predicting the sell-off to be on Friday. And therefore I'm hoping to get out tomorrow. Look at everything Shopify, below the 60 now. Google, still very strong at the 60, right? But if we'll see what happened. These 60 looks like a bounce, but not right now, right? Because right now it looks like everybody who has bought on the way up, everyone who has bought, uh, they can now start to take profits because that's a huge amount of gains. Why would you want to buy it now? Now that the technical is negative, everything is indicating negative. Why would you want to buy now? Should have done your buying up here. There are no buyers at this point. It's all computer generated trading at this point, and this 60-minute trend line, I think will eventually fail given the nature that Friday is option expiration, and of course next week is the monthly option expiration. So MicroStrategy is Bitcoin. Bitcoin obviously went down. Coinbase also went down, sitting at the 60. Yeah, Beyond Meat is toast. This thing, did I get out of Beyond Meat? I don't know. Yeah, let me check. I hopefully I don't have a position in this guy. But if I do, I'm SOL, because this thing is looking so negative. Let me see. Um, Hopefully I don't. I do have a position in it. Oh my goodness. Yes, I do have a position, a small position, but now it's all the way at 78. So after hours, I'm assuming, extended hours, yeah. So yeah, so I'm stuck in this Beyond Meat. It's a dead stock now. Look at it. It's completely dead. I keep um hoping, sorry, this is just hope. Uh, Not the, this is in my 401k, of course. Just bad. Look at Rob. I mean, this went all the way up, and now, yeah, it's still high. Yeah, everything is getting sold off. But I mean, this seems big, but it's really small, given the nature of how much everything has been up. Even this correction right here, I mean, compared to where it was, it's still what, almost 75% higher, depending on where you bought. Anywhere here, if you bought Tesla, you're still up at least 75%. So this is not anywhere close to being a correction. DoorDash is higher. So there's really nothing to say other than it's large swings, looking negative, but you know, it's not going to collapse just yet. Not yet. I think it will be next week. Next week may probably be some type of what we call a crash, but it's really, in this type of environment, anything called a crash is really, the percentage wise is really small compared to what, how much the stock market has been up, this year. Even and let's see, Adobe, everything is so up that even, this is nothing really in comparison. Yeah, so I'm not sure exactly what to make of it. You know, yeah, when is the crash? Probably next week. This VIX probably it's either Friday. I don't think so. I think Friday is a correction, and then sometime next week it will be crash. If we call this a crash, which when was this? 9 to 20. Is that even a crash, honestly? 9 to 20 is right here, I'm thinking. Yeah, is that really a crash? It looks bad, but really, it's nothing compared to. Yeah, it kept going down, but look at this run up. I mean, this run up, anywhere above, anywhere here, it's still a really, at the all-time high. You can't say anything else. If anywhere here is still at an all-time high, anywhere above 350 on the Nasdaq is an all-time high. In comparison to where it was, it feels bad if you get in the wrong position, or if you're a long-term investors and you're looking at your account when it was at 400, and now it's, down here at 350 or whatever it may be. You might say, well, I lost out on 50,000 on my 401k or whatever it is. It's meaningless in the overall scheme of it, because the stock market is on fire, I'm telling you. So that's really all I have for today.